The following is a production of the Department of Broadcasting at Western Illinois University.
Next on News 3, Hurricane Sandy is about to hit. Find out when the storm will come onto shore and what precautions officials are asking people to take. Also, Macomb Police Department is cracking down on bar-goers in town. Find out what new city ordinance may soon come into play to help stop underage drinking. And Halloween is right around the corner. Find out Macomb's dates and times for the trick-or-treating fun. Coming up.
Live at 4 begins now with Victoria Hanson, Jessica Adduci, plus your local weather with Bobby Stochl and sports with Nico Haeflinger. This is your WIU TV3 newscast.
Good afternoon and welcome to Live at 4. I'm Jessica Adduci.
And I'm Victoria Hanson. We begin our top story, a huge storm bearing down on the eastern seaboard.
Millions of residents in the path of the storm could be affected. CNN's Renee Marsh is in New Jersey with the latest.
States from North Carolina to Maine have urged residents in low-lying areas to evacuate. And public transportation has been shut down in New York, Philadelphia, and Washington, D.C. Officials warn Sandy is not your typical storm.
This storm is moving slowly and bringing high volumes of rain. Essentially, this is a hurricane wrapped in a nor'easter.
Well, we're very worried. The reality is we have two additional tides, one at noontime or thereabouts and one at midnight or thereabouts, which are the most frightening.
Conditions are going to get worse and worse, and we didn't want people to go to work today and then have to drive home or not through really bad conditions or not get home at all.
New York Mayor Michael Bloomberg urged residents to heed the warning.
I can't stress enough that this is for your own safety, and that if you refuse to evacuate, you're not only putting yourself at risk, but also the first responders who will have to assist you in an emergency.
Hurricane Sandy is expected to cause as much as $10 billion in insured losses. CNN reports the storm is expected to hit New Jersey tonight in just a few hours as a Category 1 hurricane. CNN Weather Center is reporting high winds have already cut power lines in some areas, leaving more than 765,000 without power. Now, with more hurricane coverage, we go to News 3's Bobby Stochl with a look at the hurricane's path. Bobby?
Thank you, Jessica. Yes, we do have our projected path of the hurricane as tonight and tomorrow. But we are experiencing 90-mile-per-hour winds out on the East Coast, and it will continue up in through at about 28 miles per hour. We'll be seeing these thunderstorms and all this rain throughout the evening and throughout the rest of the week, and even some snow out in the Appalachian Mountains. The tides will be rising significantly along the Jersey shore and in the bays of New York and down below Maryland at about 6 to 11 feet. Here are some pictures of what's going on around New York City. The flooding is rising and the tides are coming. The hurricane will be here tonight, and just make sure to prepare and stay tuned for the rest of our forecast to find out more.
Thanks, Bobby. In local news, Macomb aldermen are debating on passing a city ordinance. The law is aimed at keeping underage students from getting identification from people of legal drinking age. The ordinance would require any person in full service or class a tavern to carry a picture ID or face a $250 fine. The purpose of the ordinance is primarily to cut down on passing back another person's ID to an underage person. Some question whether the ordinance unfairly focuses students in the city. The ordinance will be addressed in City Council tonight.
And Halloween is just 2 days away. That means it's time for the kids to dress up and do some trick-or-treating. Macomb will be hosting 2 days of Halloween fun. Tuesday, October 30th and Wednesday, October 31st will be trick-or-treat days from 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. Everyone is encouraged to leave their porch light on during these hours if you would like visitors.
Looking for a scare this Halloween? Well, the annual Haunted Corn Maze will be open from 8 to 10 Halloween night this Wednesday at Hornfield campus. The cost is only $5 per person, but there is limited parking space, so make sure to carpool with your friends, family for the event.
And if you're looking for something to do, Haunted Higgins will be hosting a family-friendly night. It's going on right now until 6 p.m. The cost is $3 per person, and young audiences are encouraged to attend. Non-perishable food item donations will gladly be accepted. All proceeds will go towards Stuff the Bus. And interested in smashing some pumpkins? Western's ROTC program's annual pumpkin shoot is tomorrow at Horrabin Hall's indoor range from 9 in the morning to 3 in the afternoon. All WIU students, faculty, and staff are welcome to attend, and the cost is $1 for one target and $5 for 6. Proceeds will be going to the ROTC rifle/pistol team, and prizes will be awarded to the best shots.
With its new transit center building nearly completed, Go West plans to host an event to commemorate their service. Macomb's McDonough County Public Transportation Committee discussed hosting a ribbon-cutting ceremony in February. The work on the building is over 90% complete on the maintenance center and bus garage. Go West has served a cumulative total of 226,000 riders in September and has averaged 55,000 passengers per week.
And WIU is seeking student applicants for the Salute Veterans Honor Society. They recognize veterans, active duty service members, National Guard members, and reservists who have been honorably discharged or who are currently serving their country. A copy of the WIU Salute Chapter membership application and application guidelines can be found at wiu.edu/veterans. The deadline to apply for the fall 2012 term is Friday, November 16th. And it's that time of year again for your Pet of the Week. Miss Kitty is a domestic longhair who is around 14 years old. She is spayed, good with kids and other animals, and weighs around 11 pounds. Miss Kitty needs a good home and is just about the sweetest cat you'll ever meet. And speaking of cats, it's National Cat Day. Make sure to stop on by the McDonough County Animal Shelter to adopt yours today. And coming up next,
see why wireless carriers are encouraging customers to use text messaging instead of actual phone calls after the break.
And now, another adventure with Savings Man.
Look, honey, the neighbors just bought a big screen TV.
Hey, I just got a bonus at work. Maybe we should get one too.
Hold on there.
Savings Man.
Using your bonus to secure your future by paying down debt or saving is a better way to go.
Well, I declare you're right, Savings Man.
Stay ahead by choosing to save. And don't worry about keeping up with the Joneses.
But their name is Johnson.
For more tips and tools, visit choosetosave.org today.
For others, it may have just been a summer job. But for me, it was training. Now I'm an Air Force pararescueman, and my job is to save lives. Make the right choices today, and be ready for the challenges tomorrow. This message is brought to you by the U.S. Air Force.
Winston, just one more inning, Grandma.
Ever notice how many things today kids can do without actually moving? A whole lot of things their parents used to do the hard way. So many kids' activities today seem to leave out the activity part, which makes exercise even more important for children. In fact, new research tells us the best time to enhance bone development is during childhood and adolescence. And just getting children to walk an extra 35 minutes a day could spare them the pain of thinning bones later in life. Healthy bones come from healthy habits. Encourage your kids to get up, get out, and get moving.
Hello. Hey, Grandma, how about another grape soda?
A public service message on building strong bones for kids from the Pediatric Orthopedic Society of North America and the American Academy of Orthopedic Surgeons.
Digger City Bowl has become one of 65 businesses in the state to receive a video gaming license. News3's Stephanie Martin reports how this bowling alley has benefited from the gambling machines.
After a long wait, Digger City Bowl of Macomb became the first to open live video gaming machines in the county.
It has been a very long process to get to the point where we're at now.
In order to receive the gambling machines, the bowling alley had to first apply for the license from the state. After receiving their license, Digger signed a contract with a video gaming company who brought the machines into their business.
We got the machines in in September, I think, but they just sat here because the state wasn't ready.
Many businesses in Macomb have been approved for video gambling license. However, Digger City Bowl is the first to have video gaming inside their establishment.
Because I think there's a big backlog now. I think we were very lucky to be in the first wave.
Dakin says she waited quite a few weeks until finally the software company set up their machines.
Our initial cost for us was we had to do some electrical work to get ready for the machines and also for the software.
But no matter what the cost, the bowling alley believes that the new games will draw in more customers. Customers that they hope will bring their families to go bowling.
For us, we're first and foremost a family entertainment center, a bowling alley. We're a bowling alley, and that's what we want to be known for.
Diggers has hired extra help to make sure that those under the age of 21 cannot gamble. They plan on adding a fourth machine in the future. And moving to national news now, we're just over a week away from the election day. But instead of politics, the presidential candidates are focusing on Hurricane Sandy, which is barreling towards the East Coast. The storm's threatening to wreak havoc all up and down the eastern seaboard. And that has some people wondering whether the election could be affected. But President Obama says he's not concerned about that.
After a long wait, Digger City...
I am not worried at this point about the impact on the election. I'm worried about the impact on families, and I'm worried about the impact on our first responders. I'm worried about the impact on our economy and on transportation. The election will take care of itself next week. Right now, our number one priority is to make sure that we are saving lives, that our search and rescue teams are going to be in place, that people are going to get the food, the water, the shelter that they need in case of emergency, and that we respond as quickly as possible to get the economy back on track. All right.
As a result of the Hurricane Sandy, the U.S. stock exchanges are closed. The New York Stock Exchange said in a statement late Sunday that it will close its markets today. Markets are likely to remain closed on Tuesday as well. The NASDAQ stock market, which trades many technology stocks including Google and Microsoft, will also be closed today. The exchange will later announce plans for Tuesday. The NYSE originally planned on staying open for electronic trading while closing its trading floor, but later said all operations would close after consultations with regulators and other exchanges. NYSE rarely shuts down for weather-related emergencies. Previously, Hurricane Gloria in 1985 and a snowstorm in 1969 brought the exchange to a halt.
And wireless carriers have made some big preparations to deal with the impact of Hurricane Sandy and are encouraging their customers to do the same. Verizon, AT&T, Sprint, and T-Mobile have released these tips. They are advising to keep phones and phone accessories, like batteries and chargers, in sealed plastic bags to avoid water damage. If you have an extra phone battery, charge that battery so it's ready. Add phone contacts of all the key emergency phone numbers and email addresses, like police, fire, and rescue agencies, including school and service people. Use your phone's camera to take photos of your property and valuables before the storm hits, so you have before photos if your home suffers from storm damage. Expect high call volume as well. All carriers have been deploying portable cell sites and mobile emergency generators that can replace damaged cell towers. You can like our Facebook page and follow us on Twitter for updates from Hurricane Sandy at News3 WIU TV3. And fall has finally reached Macomb, and News3's Dana Zimmer is here to tell us what's in for this season's fashion.
Cooler weather has finally arrived here on the WIU campus, and students are beginning to break out their fall clothes.
My favorite thing about fall fashion is definitely the big sweaters, especially this season. Big cable knit sweaters are in, and I like to just pair them with like riding boots and then leggings, and it's really quick and easy, and you know what you're going to wear every morning.
And if you're ever running late, a scarf and a cute pair of shoes can dress up any simple outfit.
Definitely flats are in for the fall as well. Any kind of pattern flat is really in. Also, the new thing that's coming out for fall is pointy-toed flats.
With limited shopping centers in Macomb, fashion lovers may need to explore other options. Online shopping is the quickest and easiest way to find all your needs for this fall season.
For for the fall, you can pair your plain outfits, like I was saying before, with big chunky jewelry like necklaces.
And when searching online, you can find exactly what you're looking for without leaving your own home. For WIU TV3, I'm Dana Zimmer.
Thanks for all the fashion tips, Dana. According to experts, fall fashion season lasts through late November.
With Hurricane Sandy happening on the East Coast, the weather has been playing tricks on us.
Will we have good enough weather for trick-or-treating for Halloween? Bobby will have your local forecast next.
At what age is the color that your skin was meant to be no longer beautiful? Every year, millions of young women try to change the skin they were born with and say they die for darker skin. Sadly, some actually do. Melanoma is the second most common cancer in teens and young adults, and one person dies from melanoma every hour. Change your thinking, not your skin. Stop tanning. Learn more at spotskincancer.org. A message from the American Academy of Dermatology.
Something's not right.
My first symptoms were
constant tingling in my toes.
Had double vision. They said you have multiple sclerosis.
Kind of had to get a grasp on reality.
I had to adapt and change very rapidly.
We had to learn how to drive with my hands. Yeah, that was interesting.
A symptom may cause you not to be able to do that anymore. And at one point, I wasn't able to do any of those.
Since I've been cycling, it's definitely helped my walking.
It's a fantastic opportunity to be working together with a common goal of curing MS, and sharing is the key.
I remember the moment.
I'll never forget that moment.
That moment?
It was a moment that changed my life. I'd been training with my team for months, and now we had been called up for the first time. The real deal. Wildfires were getting dangerously close to homes. At that moment, I got my first taste of just how important the Guard is to my community.
See how the Guard can be an important part of your life at NationalGuard.com.
I'm a big believer in the power of we. We can tackle the tough challenges we face and build community through service and volunteering. It's time for you to raise your hand. Go to serve.gov and get involved in something you believe in.
How will you raise your hand when they call your name?
Are you with me?
We weren't born to follow.
Welcome back to WIU TV3. I have your current weather forecast. Right now it's about 53 degrees, feeling warmer because we have those sunny skies out today, so not too bad compared to what we've seen this weekend. We'll be seeing some cooler temperatures and clear skies tonight as we move into tomorrow. And here is our satellite radar. You can see Hurricane Sandy pushing into the East Coast over here, and not too much going around where we are in the Midwest. Like I said, pretty clear skies, a little bit of precipitation just west of us, but not too much else going on for today. Here's our surface for Tuesday. You see Hurricane Sandy's pushing on through. You'll be seeing the snow over on, and nothing much going on here, but we will be affected by the hurricane. We'll possibly seeing some power outages in the Chicagoland area as we move into Wednesday. Here's what I was talking about, those power outages. Here's where you could possibly be seeing some of those, more likely into the east though. And the thing to prepare for this is we have these colder temperatures for Tuesday and Wednesday, sorry. So if you do have a power outage, your heat's obviously not going to be running, so you have to be prepared for that. Here are regional temperatures. Like I said, 53 degrees, pretty fair temperatures across the board here today. About 82 down in the southwest, and you'll be seeing those colder temperatures out through Wisconsin and Michigan. Our almanac today, it's actually cooler than the normal and nowhere near either of our records, but that's probably for the best. And like I said, we'll still be losing daylight. We lost about 17 minutes this past week. That's why your days seem a little bit shorter. And like I said, pretty fair temperatures in the 50s. It is fall weather. Will be nice this week for trick-or-treating, and as we move and possibly be seeing some rain this weekend.
Well, thanks, Bobby. Gosh, that hurricane's, pretty scary. Let's hope for the least amount of damage and, the safety of the people out there.
Yeah, hopefully we don't see too many power outages, and it's
you know.
It's obviously going to cost a lot of money, but hopefully not too effective.
Right,
so.
right.
Yeah. Well, what do we have coming up on sports, Nico?
Oh, we got a lot coming up. We got the Macomb Bombers had their first playoff game, World Series Game 4, and highlights from around the NFL after the break.
Tommy's a really good kid. He's really helpful around the house. He loves to play with his friends. He loves school, too. He's real smart. My Tommy would never even think about trying alcohol. Isn't that right, sweetie?
Real kids are curious about alcohol. 40% tried by the 8th grade. Talk early, talk often, get others involved.
Okay, everyone, we have a lot to cover this morning. Tim should be here any second with the latest budget numbers to take us through the initial schedule for production and...
Ow. This is one way to avoid getting the H1N1 flu virus.
Oh, whoopsie daisy. All right, good morning. Let's get this meeting started.
For some better ways, visit flu.gov.
Anyone have a tissue?
Welcome home, man.
Yes, ready, ready. Go get it.
Oh, come on, Randy. Animal shelter, here I come. And no, I'm not crazy or emotionally damaged. That's a stereotype. I just belong to a total loser. I'm a good dog. So if you want a pet, adopt. And if you see Randy, tell him he dropped his wallet.
The first round of the Illinois 4A playoffs, and we get a rematch of last week's season finale with the Macomb Bombers taking on the Raiders of Quincy Notre Dame. Jump into the highlights. There are the Bombers running out onto the field, and Raiders get the ball to start the game. Joe McCaw, he finds Jordan Chappell, who tosses it to Nick Weeman, running the hook and ladder just like Tweeter and Billy Bob in Varsity Blues. Jared Rockhold, coming off a monstrous 3-touchdown game last week, breaks this run down the left side, gets the juke, gets into the end zone, 7-6 Bombers. And Rockhold again in the first quarter, this time right up the middle, getting through the tight hole, 53-yard run. Rockhold rushed for over 250 yards and to go along with his 2 touchdowns. Raiders threatening now in the red zone, but McCaughey is going to get picked off by Jacob Moon, one of 5 turnovers by the Bombers. In the fourth quarter now, Bombers trying to close it off. Eli Cousins takes his handoff up the middle, and he fools everyone, including the cameraman. Bombers squeak out a close one and await Peoria Notre Dame next week. Western Illinois coming off back-to-back blowout losses, headed to Missouri State this past Saturday to take on the Bears. Unfortunately for the Leathernecks, their offensive woes continued for a 3rd straight game. Late in the first quarter, Kiera Harris, he's going to hit Dorian Buford on the screen, takes it 30 yards for the score. One of 3 TDs for Buford. Leathernecks now on their only scoring drive, splitting carries equally with Nico Watson and Colton Ray. Both of them eclipsed the 70-yard mark in the game. And there is Colton Ray on that one. That drive is going to end in this Pat Smith field goal, who remains perfect on the season. With the 42-3 loss, the Leathernecks fall to 3-5 on the season. Freshman quarterback Hayden Northern saw some playing time for the first time, but threw 3 interceptions. The Leathernecks have failed to score an offensive touchdown in all 5 games they have lost this season. World Series Game 4, the San Francisco Giants had already overcome 2-game deficits against the Reds and Cardinals, but entered the game against the Tigers up 3-0 with ace Matt Cain on the hill. 3rd inning now, Giants up 1-0. Triple Crown winner Miguel Cabrera with the go-ahead home run, his first of the series. That makes it 2-1 Tigers. There is Cabrera. Jump to the 6th inning now, and Buster Posey, he's going to crank this ball down the left field line, just going to sneak it inside that foul pole. Giants up 3-2. Head to the bottom of that same inning. 2 outs for Delman Young, who's going to hit the solo shot to tie up the game at 3 in the same spot as Cabrera. Extra innings now in the 10th. Marco Scudero at the dish with a runner on second. He's going to hit this single to center field. Ryan Terrio rounding third, and Austin Jackson's throw is late and off the mark. Giants take the lead 4-3. And then in the bottom of the inning, Sergio Romo filling in for the injured Brian Wilson facing Cabrera. And Miggy takes a fastball right down the middle, strikes out looking. Romo strikes out the side. The Giants win their 2nd World Series in the last 3 seasons, as Pablo Sandoval was named the MVP. Due to the looming effects of Hurricane Sandy, the NFL has moved back the trade deadline 48 hours to Thursday at 4 o'clock Eastern Time. The league has already moved the trade deadline back 2 weeks to encourage more trade talk among teams. Notable people who could be on the move include Steven Jackson, D'Angelo Williams, and Dwayne Bowe. And the Chicago Bears were back at Soldier Field for the 2nd straight game, this time against Cam Newton and the Carolina Panthers. After going up 7-0 early on, the Bears just seemed out of sync on both sides of the ball, but you play 60 minutes for a reason. Head into the 4th quarter now. Bears trailing 19-7. Jay Cutler's going to throw it up for the 6'7" Keldon Davis, who's going to bring in that for the touchdown. 19-14 now. Ensuing possession, and Cam Newton going to look for his favorite target, Steve Smith, but the high throw gets picked off by Tim Jennings. The Hawk takes his league-leading 6th interception to the house as the Bears score 13 points in just 8 seconds. Justin Medlock now, just 2 field goal attempts coming into the game, drains his 5th field goal of the day to re-give the Panthers the lead. But Jake Cutler marches the Bears 55 yards down the field, completing 7 of 8 passes, and Robbie is pure gold as usual, the 3rd most accurate kicker in the history of the league. Hits the game winner. Bears go on to win 23-20. Boy, that was a really intense game at the end there, but Jake Cutler and the Bears found a way to pull it off.
Yeah, I'm glad they did. It's nice to see the Bears take a win.
Definitely.
And normally news teams cover stories. We are rarely in them.
After the break, we'll show you a news anchor's creepy visitor.
There is also a very attractive extended warranty option that includes free service and parts for the next 5 years. But there's no need for you to get that. You failed to get the test you needed at the doctor that would have detected disease early enough where it could have been treated. So you won't be around in 2 years to see him grow up, which means the warranty would be useless. Okay, sign here, please.
For a list of tests every man should have, go to ahrq.gov.
I'm home, and I love it. I'm home where I belong. I'm home, and I love it. I'm home where I belong.
It's always nice to come home. But these days, many Americans are at risk of foreclosure and losing their homes. Making Home Affordable is a free program from the U.S. government that has already helped over 1 million struggling homeowners like these. And we want to help you.
I'm home, and I love it. I'm home.
Find out now what your options are. Go to makinghomeaffordable.gov or call 1-888-995-HOPE. The sooner you act, the better chance we can help you.
I'm home where I belong.
An anchor in Idaho Falls, Idaho had an unexpected visitor during his newscast that frankly would scare any of us.
Tom Coons said he noticed it during a previous story. To his credit, he kept his composure and read the news without flinching.
Canyon found some contamination had seeped into the groundwater.
Coon says viewers called the newsroom the following day concerned about the spider crawling down his chest. He says the spider was actually about 6 feet away. Well, that's all the news we have for you today. For Nico Haeflinger, I'm Victoria Hanson.
And for Bobby Stochl, I'm Jessica Adduci. We'll see you here next Monday.